they got the attention of the Elden Lord of scam crashing, of fucking scam, just stamping down scams. Tyler Oliveria, the fucking the czar of scams. This is how bad this is. Look, and I keep my finger on the pulse of these things. I do a couple videos here and there, but these are things I'm legitimately interested in, right? Because I try to explain this, that this is how these things, like corruption's being done. It's like, okay, you remove corruption. It's like, okay, people find other ways, and nowadays it's taking money from people who work for a living, taxing you, the person who works for a living, and giving it to Somalis to just sit around and do nothing. To not even achieve the thing that they want to do. Because they opened up a child care center that didn't have a single fucking child, despite sucking in millions and millions of dollars. And obviously, the people writing the checks are getting some things in return. But I am so glad these things are being brought to life and just random people. And it's odd that when the journalists do it, they try to defend the Somalian scams instead of, being with them. And then they will attack someone like Tyler or like that Nick guy. Like, I watched an interview with him and a news lady, and they've actively cut and edited the footage for him people not to hear his opinion. And I am so glad this is happening, because now you see it and they're not even trying to hide it. And the same's probably going to be done to Tyler. But let's give this a watch.
How was life here in Minneapolis?
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, ya Allah.
This is Little Mogadishu, Minneapolis, the unofficial capital of the 100,000 plus Somalis that have made Minnesota their home, fleeing the war-torn Somalia since the 90s, and attracted by Minnesota's refugee programs, job opportunities, a generous welfare system, pre-existing Somali community, and the welcoming, hospitable Minnesotan spirit. But not everyone wants them here.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Their country stinks.
The president says he doesn't want any Somalis.
And look, I 100% believe this is happening to an extent in every single one of the states in America. It may be happening completely differently. There may be different ways, but I do believe there are legitimate scams that are happening. One in healthcare and childcare and all of that, and say insurance, business. Like, I believe this is happening all over America, but this is the clearest cut case of it. And let's stamp this out and then move on to another one. Like, it should be, we should do this from 2026 onward. Every single year, we stamp out just one scam, one community scam. I don't care if it's done by Somalians, Nicaraguans, fucking white people. I don't give a shit. Let's just choose one. Just choose Black Lives Matter. I don't give a fuck. Like private prisons. I don't care. Just pick one. We hyper focus on that. Stamp it the fuck out, then move on, right? Because this didn't happen over just a couple days or months. Like, this has been happening for probably years. So it will take years for this to go away, but we need to start somewhere, right? There needs to be this culture of stamping people out that just wants to abuse the system, regardless of what it is. I really just don't care. I don't care the ideology or people trying to make it a race thing. I don't give a shit. Get these people out of here.
Living in the U.S. after a few dozen were implicated in a COVID relief fraud case.
I got nothing to do personally. I've been working all my life hard.
They believe the fraud could extend beyond $6.5 billion just in the time period where Tim Walz has taken office. 78 people have been charged at this point. 77 of them are Somali.
With an estimated $1 billion.
Exactly. And again, people are pattern recognition machines, and I do believe this will affect legitimate Somali-owned businesses and people that work, trying to make a living. Unfortunately, other Somalians are gaming the system, and people are noticing the pattern. Like, you're not going to stop people from noticing these things. And, mistakes will happen, but I've always said it shouldn't have gotten to this point. Again, it took years for it to get to this point, and people have allowed it. People will defend it. We've seen this in videos, the liberal white woman coming between, people just pointing out blatant scam, blatant theft of the American taxpayer. And they don't care. They're irrational. They want to act irrational. So, let's be irrational back. Like, okay, fine, whatever. Just get it out of here.
Plus dollars stolen from welfare programs designed to feed the hungry, housing stabilization, and treat autistic kids. Is this the result of a few evil fraudsters who happen to mostly be Somali? Or is it the work of a city and state's leadership bending the knee to an increasingly growing community of tribally loyal refugees that have refused to assimilate, have worked together as a community to exploit generous welfare programs, and have not been held accountable due to the fear of spineless politicians being called racist and potentially losing the votes of the Somali community they know they'll need to get reelected?
And again, people are intrinsically the product of the culture they grow up in and will take it with them, right? Then they do try to impose effectively clan-style rules in Minnesota against other clans, Somalian clans that are in Minnesota. It's like, I'm sorry, this is America. We don't do that here. You can't enact clan rule. You can't enact these ancient blood feud rules in America. I don't care who you are, right? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Somali people have been an extraordinary benefit.
They contribute nothing. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you.
Anyone who looks like me are scared right now.
The fear comes as the Somali community here is bracing for a surge of ICE agents cracking down on migrants who've been issued final deportation orders.
So I pulled up to Little Mogadishu to talk to...
Yeah, and again, they act as a vote. They are a voting bloc. I 100% believe that politician, I think both. They're using the system. The politicians are allowing them to do it because they're benefiting from it, right? And they are a voting bloc. They act effectively clan rule. They all vote the same. They vote for their interests. And I kind of have to respect it. I respect people that can play the system. Now, they shouldn't be able to do it, and there should absolutely be consequences for it. But if the system allows it, it's like, well, what do you want me to do about it, right? It's up to the Minnesotians to stamp this shit out. But people are just afraid of a label now. And they're afraid that they do something. Again, we know, I 100% believe some of these people that went after this had violence done to them, and after a while, and had threats done to them, and after a while, they just don't do it anymore because, one, the government will stamp down on them, then the Somali community, the violent people of those communities will stamp down on them, and there's nothing they can do past that point.
the Somali community and figure out what's really going on here. So this sign is in full Somali. I don't see a variant of it in English. That's fascinating. Let's see if it's English on the back. No, Somali only. I guess why even learn English if you can just read the signs in Somali? If you don't...
And I find this weird, right? Like, I mean, above them spelling the fucking learning, the leering system, like, what the fuck are the kids going to leer from a Somalian teacher who can't speak English, can't speak the language, like they can't communicate with the parents or the kids? Like, if they were, you know, having other Somalian kids, okay, that's one thing, but if you can't even communicate at a basic level with the community, how the fuck are you going to teach kids of that community? Like, just at a very base level, that, and okay, maybe the point isn't really to teach, like it's a child center, but it's like an autistic, a center for autistic kids. Like, how are you going to be able to connect with the child and the parent if you can't even as little as or barely speak the language? And like, it's something that I tried to boil things down to just the basic. Like, if you can't communicate, what the fuck you doing being a teacher, or, you know, a leering fucking associate, if you cannot speak the basic fucking language, or you can't speak it right?
Force the people who move here to learn English. They never will or will never have the need to learn English. And my point proved itself immediately. Could I interview you? Okay, sorry. Okay, this will be fascinating. Do you speak English? Do you speak English?
Somalian.
Do you speak any English?
French.
French? Bonjour. Somali?
French.
Okay. Can I interview you in French? Hey.
What are you doing, guys?
Doing news report. Huh? No. What do you mean no? It's America, no? Puis-je vous interviewer in François? He doesn't speak French. Maku Warisan Kana af Somali? Okay. Thank you. This is a unique place.
To be fair, I mean, reporter coming up to you, but it's clear why they're cagey with him, and they see the camera and they're like, nah. It's very clear why they're being cagey.
My name's Tyler.
Yes,
Hi. We're trying to talk to members of Somali community.
Yeah.
Because the Trump thing, temporary protected status over. I wanted to talk to people that live here. Would you be open to giving me any thoughts for a little news piece we're doing?
Okay, good.
Good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Okay, see you. Nice people. But keep in mind, it says it's not safe right there. It's not safe. Whisper on the wall, Dark Souls style. We're trying to talk to members of the Somali community. And no? Okay. Okay. And then I headed towards the Riverside Plaza apartment complex, known for its large Somali population, to see if I could find anyone here that spoke English. Speak English?
No, sorry. Speak French.
Bonjour. Can I interview in French?
I'm sorry.
Interview in François? Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, once you start speaking French, they don't speak French.
English.
François? Hello. You speak English?
Yes.
Could I ask you a few questions for interview?
Why?
News interview.
Interview?
News interview.
For what?
News.
Oh, news? My name's Amul. I live in Minneapolis.
Oh, he can't speak for himself?
No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What
My name's Tyler.
Okay, Tyler. What are you looking for?
Okay, literally, man, he's probably just some old dude that works for a living, but he sees this young guy who's probably part of the scammer being like, no, move along, and this guy's like, oh fuck, I don't want to be part of this.
Speak to people in Somali community. I want to ask people in Somali community in Minneapolis about Trump trying to revoke the temporary protected status.
But he doesn't have authority. So I think it's rhetoric. It's not the actual policy.
Do you believe the Somali community is being targeted unfairly?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't understand why he's targeting Somalis. Somalis, like everyone, they are Americans and they have the whole right that each...
No. And I'm going to be radical, right? If you do not work in the interest of being an American, you know, try to learn the customs, you know, learn the rules, if you just take advantage of the system, you're not American. Like, I'm gonna be radical like this. Like, oh, I'm an American, but you're contributing nothing to your community. If anything, you're taking money from people who work for a living and contributing nothing. I'm sorry, you're not an American. Like, I'm gonna say that full out. I'm gonna be radical in this instance. You're not an American.
American has. If Mr. Trump wanted my advice, I would tell him, let alone all Americans, especially the Somalis.
I see.
They came here to get a refuge and they got one. They are contributing to the countries.
Good to meet you.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you?
I actually watched your video.
Right on.
I was like, wait, no
That's
way.
me. You got any thoughts?
Man, it's there's a lot more to it. Honestly, what I believe that, you know, what the like headlines, the news sensation is. Well, so like majority of us aren't under that protective status because we really don't migrate here illegally, you know. Us being on the other side of the world is really not that much of an option. Right here, I think it was around like 500 to 700 people, and that group of people aren't even the ones really, you know, engaged in anything, you know.
Sure.
So I don't know what it really would solve for.
Do most people here in this community speak English?
Yeah, why not? What I'm speaking now? Am I speaking for Greek? No.
Why are you so revved up right now?
Because of
we came in here pretty civilly, and you're telling him to walk away and he can't speak, and he's a grown man, right?
He's a mentally ill guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
Good call.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask. Have you heard about the statewide welfare fraud?
I heard, but
Estimated $1 billion+.
I think that one's fake.
You think it's all fake?
Yeah. No, maybe the small portion is accurate.
Sure.
But I don't think that's not the accurate description for the whole community.
If someone does wrongdoings, I agree that he be punished by law. The publicizing and finger pointing Somalis is not what we like.
A lot of people that work here.
Yeah, it's unfair, right? But life's unfair. You know, you ever heard that from your parents? You know, I think there are legitimate Somali citizens that legitimately just left just to start a new life, but unfortunately the ones that are sucking the taxpayer money is making them look bad. And it's like, you know, I'm a business owner too. As one business owner to another, at least do it the fucking right way. Nah, I'm just kidding. You shouldn't do it at all. But you're telling me they can't just pull together kids from the community, or like even other Somali kids, just feed them, I don't know, have them play in the fucking road, I don't fucking know. Or like what we did when we were in daycare. Like, you can't just do that. No, the buildings would sit completely empty. Like, okay, maybe they had 1 or 2 or 3 kids, or maybe at first they had kids, but then they realized they didn't have to really, you know, they didn't have to adhere to anything because no one would come after them, and then they just stopped doing it. It's like, yeah, you're still frauding people. Like, you maybe started off with good intention, but where we're at is fraud, you know, and unfortunately the Somali community will be targeted, will be affected, but I mean, that's life.
Send a lot of money back home to support the family.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
I know a big portion of Somalia's like GDP comes from remittance, you know, because, you know, there's no economy back there, there's no opportunities.
You know, a lot of the ladies specifically, they say they speak French, then we start speaking French, and then they don't speak French. then I get the Somali translation, and then they don't speak Somali. I appreciate you, by the way, that we're having a conversation.
Absolutely.
It's tough to find people to speak to.
Yeah. You know, I think the majority of people, they speak English, but there's the elderly people, they don't speak English.
Well, that takes time. Somalis came here 30 years ago.
I see.
And 30 years, it's for the history is small period.
You think 30 years?
Yeah, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? I mean, you learn a hell of a lot better when you're young, and that's fair. But I mean, and the whole speaking English is not really okay. It's a big part. I mean, it just kind of proves that you don't actually care if you don't put in the basic fucking effort, right? To speak the language, to be able to communicate with the people that is majority English. Like, if you don't even put in the effort to just have a basic conversation, you clearly just don't care to integrate. And you find out if they don't care to integrate, they form these, these coalitions. They all vote the same. They change the Minnesota flag to reflect their own, and now they want to impose blood feuds and clan rules, but now they want to actually just suck money from people who do work for a living. It's like, all of these are points on the graph that's like, nah, get them the hell out of here.
This is not enough time to assimilate?
I do not agree with the simulation. I wouldn't say good or bad, but it's not be forced people to be assimilated. I can be American and be my own. Amish, and there is some Amish, they never assimilated.
I see. Do you think a commonly...
They don't assimilate, but they stick to their own. They're self-sufficient. Every once in a while they'll pay people outside of their community to do jobs with them there. It's like, okay, they haven't assimilated. I mean, you could argue that they have. I mean, they're still Christian. They speak English. They're just, self-sufficient. And for some reason, a lot of the government tries to fuck with them. It's like, why? These are people, like, the Amish coming out to vote for Trump. I don't think people understand how much you have to piss an Amish man off to be like, okay, now I'm going to leave my fucking commune to fucking vote for a guy who probably doesn't give a fuck about us, we don't initially care for, but because you fucked with us, we're going to fuck with you back. I don't think people really understand what it takes to have someone do that.
Shared language would be a reasonable thing to compromise on? Like, let's say we all speak English like you and I do?
I learned English for my own personal interests. I am an engineer. In order to have job, I must be able to speak English. Who doesn't have an interest, let them have their own language.
You don't think there are any problems with not being able to read, like, traffic directions or...
Yeah, if you look at Somalis living here, who are above 20 or 30 years, all of them, they speak English.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's just human nature to sort of live next to people.
White people live to white next. Sure. I don't think that's not, something unique to the Somali. If you go to the Brooklyn Park, you can see a lot of Haitian or people come from West Africa. That's not bad.
So there's studies that suggest...
Yeah, I can agree that, people feel comfortable around people that look like them, speak like them, act like them, sure. But at the end of the day, you come to a nation, it's not up to that nation to bend their backs for you. Living in another country is a privilege. It's not a right. And it's something that countries should absolutely be able to take away from you for whatever reason, even if it's an unfair reason. I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable. It's like, yeah, you're coming here and you're not contributing anything. Get the fuck out. You're frauding people. Get the hell out of here. Right? Here's what I think should happen. For the fraudsters, all of their money should be seized. All of their assets should be seized. I don't know. Give it to the shit. I don't know. You know, give it back to the people. We give them a stimulus check from it. Like everything but the clothes on their back, unless they have $700 Jordans, and we're taking those too, and send them the fuck back. You know, if you're doing any type of fraud, or if you're associated with anyone doing fraud, get the hell out of here. You know, and I think we're doing this that's the nice way to do it. What the fuck do you think would happen if they tried this in another country? Right? What do you think will happen to them if they tried this in like China or like North Korea or Russia? Like, what do you think will happen? Like, and again, obviously they don't do that, because I know what would happen. Like, even in another African country, what do you think will happen to them if that happens? Like, I think what I'm imposing is nice. I'm being the nice guy. I'm the nicest guy here.
Ethnic groups live together in one densely populated area that they don't have to assimilate. There's no reason to sort of learn the commonly spoken language like English, for instance, or learn certain cultural norms if they ethnically pool together.
I don't agree that our community disperses. And if we live in one place, in a close place, we will be having a political say. And I would encourage that the Somalis get together and live in one place, because the MPs from that area will be Somalis. I came from Virginia previously.
Okay. Why from Virginia to Minnesota?
Well, we have more
Somali community?
More the Somali, more power. We have more political power. We can have better chances here.
When you think of your identity,
and I don't really blame him for it, because yes, if you have better opportunities in another state, obviously you're going to go there. I don't know if he's an engineer or not. I mean, there's no reason for me to think he's anything other than what he said. Right? He looks well dressed and well mannered, but I mean, I disagree that if you go to a country, it is on you to learn their customs and their language to be able to communicate with the people, and not to form enclave. I mean, hanging out with people that look like you and speak like you and act like you is fine, but at the end of the day, you're in another country, you're in another community. Even if you fled for whatever reason, it is on you to learn their customs and assimilate. Not to take away the culture and customs you already have, but to know how to interact with others in the community that is different from you. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think people saying that's unreasonable, again, don't really again, you're speaking with ideology, so speaking with the way how people work.
Go religion, nationality, ethnicity. What is the sort of, how is it to be a Muslim Somali American?
In this country, everyone in this country came from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. We are not the only people who came from somewhere else.
I mean, sure, but they came here to America willingly, or in some cases unwillingly, due to slavery, yes. But their descendants are here. We're Americans, and we act in the interest, or we should act in the interest of America. And if we want to take this all the way back to the forefathers, people came here to leave the shit that was happening in the old world. They came to the new world to seek a better life, with ethnic strife or religious strife and all that. They wanted to leave all that and start a new life. Now, obviously, shit happened, but you know, the good and the bad is what crafted this country, and we accept it. You don't shy away from it. Like, we're not children. We're not 5. We accept that. Be like, okay, we're here. What do we do now? Well, right now, we get the fuck rid of scammers and people trying to use the taxpayer money to engorge themselves. That's what we do.
When we came here, we were Somalians, Muslims, and now became Americans. So we are Americans, Muslims, and Somalians.
Hey, well, thank you so much for your time, sir. You're very gracious with your time and answers. Have a great day. Thank you.
And again, just creating more division in our community, you know? It's almost like, let me see, how can I word, since that's where they were raised, but, you know, first generation born folks like myself
can
here.
we focus on the interview, Pasha? Can you? How you doing?
Definitely.
All right, bro.
Good seeing you,
Great to meet you again.
Good luck.
All right. Be safe. See ya. What did the guy with the blue? Is there a problem? You guys? So we got this dude like hiding behind pillars creepily. He was definitely mocking you. Do you speak English? No English? Somali? French? Excuse me, sir. Do you speak English? French? Somali? Hello. I'm trying to interview members of Somali community, but I can interview you too?
It's like mainly Somalians here, but there's like maybe I've seen a few other, you know, races or whatever, but they're very nice to me and my kids.
Do most people have a job and work here?
No.
No?
Nope. No.
Hi.
I've seen maybe a few, like, I could tell that they were going to work, but I don't even know if they're going to work or where they're going.
Bus?
Oh.
She's speaking Somali?
Yeah. Oh, she's talking to him.
They're yelling at each other.
I think that's just how they talk, honestly. How
peaceful.
they communicate.
Must be pleasant.
Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. I be watching your videos all the time, bro.
Respect. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on it?
Yeah.
I mean, I love everybody who love me.
That's a good way to live.
Yeah.
How did this become like the de facto hub for the Somali community?
I'm not sure, bro. Honestly, shit, they just came here and took over, bro.
Notice it's very difficult to communicate with the women out here. Somali women.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
I would,
Is it just part of the culture?
I think it is a cultural thing because I'm not going to presume to know, but obviously the male is, you know, the breadwinner. They communicate, you know, and in some cases they're kind of conservative. Like, people don't understand how conservative African countries are, but they're very, like, don't ask their opinion on gays. I just don't. But yeah, I can see that. You know, it's how their culture is. They shouldn't impose rules like that to other people, but I mean, I don't live in Somalia. I don't give a shit.
Muslim culture?
Would say no, because the men are mainly the one that speak to me, you know, but the women also speak to me as well that are on my floor, and yeah, they really don't talk a lot. I don't know.
Some of them does not speak English?
Don't speak English at all. So, like yesterday, I tried to ask one of them a question, and she didn't speak English. So I think that may interfere with, why they don't talk.
Yeah. Well, it's been great talking with you.
You
I hope
too.
you raise your
Thank
kids
you.
and you have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a nice
And then, as I was interviewing this guy, some Somali-looking gangster homie got aggro and started talking shit from behind our camera. How you doing? Real quick, when you travel as much as I do, the first thing that I need when I land is data. And the sponsor of today's video, eSIM.io, has got you covered. Whether you're in India, France, Spain, or Italy, you never want to waste your time hunting for Wi-Fi in the middle of nowhere when you should be spending it making memories. Option 1, pay as you go. Load up your eSIM balance inside the app and use it in over 190 countries. Option 2, time-based plan. Buy a 30-day plan for a single country and And if your trip runs longer than your plan, it'll automatically switch to pay as you go using your remaining balance. Option 3, regional plans. Pick a regional plan and stay connected in multiple countries at once. This Europe plan covers all of these countries, and you'll never have to swap SIMs again. Their One SIM feature lets you download their eSIM once and use it forever. No more juggling 20 eSIMs across your trip. And if there's any leftover balance, it rolls over to your next adventure. No wasted money, no wasted data. So click
my thing is, should stay off your phone as much as possible when you're going abroad. The only reason you should use it is for emergencies, right? Like, I would obviously take data roaming off, just off completely, because a lot of scams happen with that data roaming. A lot of people assume that that's what's going to be on your phone, and a lot of problems happen.
Scan the QR code on screen to download eSIM.io and get $5 worth of data free. Thanks, eSIM.io. Back to little Somalia. What did you say? I think you said, "F your grimy ass, come holler at me after." I'm not sure. Nice people. Thank you. Appreciate you. Well, we might get shot out here if we keep sticking around. Okay, I'm walking away. Hell no. All right, bro is reaching in to pull out a gun. Thank you. That's sketchy. And then my cameraman said the Somali gangster grabbed what appeared to be a gun from his man purse and began sprinting towards us as we ran away for our lives. He's gonna pull a gun on us. Some guy back there. He's really going for the piece.
God damn. My dude is not a runner. That cameraman
someone's
guy.
fully went in to grab the gun. As our lives flashed before our eyes, we headed to the hotel to cool down and came back the next day to one of many Somali malls, and I finally found a woman to speak to. Is this your business?
Yes, I do.
How long have you owned this business?
2 years.
Where are you from?
In Somalia, East Africa.
Yeah.
Somalia.
How is life here in Minneapolis?
Alhamdulillah, good.
Alhamdulillah.
Good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Praise God be the highest?
House? No.
No, praise God. God Almighty? Alhamdulillah?
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, ya Allah.
Inshallah. Wallahi? No. How difficult was it to start your own business here?
It was very difficult. I'm a single mom. It's very hard. I'm still struggling.
Small business owner.
Yes, I do. And that people, they supporting almost what they call every person in here, they support 10 people, 20 people. So our people is waiting for us.
So you're saying every Somali that lives here is supporting 10 to 20 people back home?
Yes, because we
and I do believe things like this is fine. Like Somalian business owners that, add to the community, put a product out. This is a good thing, right? It's unfortunate that someone like this has to be caught in the crossfire of fraudsters. But and again, I'm not going to assume, but she has the coffee makers. I'm assuming she sells these products, and being a single mother and bringing food back to the children whilst contributing to the community. Like, this is a good thing. A lot more people should do this right here.
That.
We're trying, we're struggling. There are people, they're not good. They don't have a place to go.
Okay, so you're one of the first women I've had a conversation with. Why is it so difficult to speak with women?
Because the culture and some people, what's going on now, people, they don't want to talk, It's scary what's going on.
Yeah. Have you heard about some of this welfare fraud in Minnesota recently?
I heard that, but people, they're not same. How many people in America or Somali people?
400 million.
$400 million.
Yeah.
We say 100 people do something mistake.
Yeah.
Then 100,000 people, you say all the thieves.
Sure.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
I've been in America 27 years. I never have any problem. I have my own business. I have my own family. I never have any problems. People like me, do they thief?
Yeah, what did you do, right?
I don't do nothing. We love America. We be in America. I love it. I respect it.
U.S. flag right there.
Yeah, we keep telling people every day America is a great country. You need to work the country. You need to obey the law.
Thank you so much for giving me a moment of your time.
This is a pillar of the community, right? Just based off what she said. I'm not a mind reader. This is just someone, how other Americans should look at this individual and be like, yeah, that is living literally the American dream right there. But it's unfortunate that she probably will have to maybe suffer a little bit because of what's happening.
Oh, yes, I can. Yeah, sorry. Do you own this business?
No, but no. 3 years or 3 years and a half.
Do most people that come here, are they Somali?
Yeah, only Somali.
Only Somali mall. Yeah. And even the customers only Somali?
Yeah, Somali.
This is run by Somalis for Somalis? I can come, but typically only Somalis come?
Every country you come here.
How is life in Minneapolis as Somali?
Life is good, life.
America good.
America good? Okay.
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah, and I don't have any problem.
Life is beautiful, man.
How large is the Somali community here in Minneapolis?
Oh, too much. Yeah.
It reminds you of home?
Too much, yeah.
Back home, Somalia.
Okay.
And when I came here, it was similar. Besides the violence and shit like that. Over here, at least we have the police,
I'm a Jew. I've lived here in the most Somali community in Minneapolis for a while now. Literally never been more welcome anywhere else in the city in my entire life.
We always help each other, and every Ramadan we always fast together. The one thing that we don't have in Somalia is a foundation, and that foundation was kind of built here. From different tribes, we all communicate differently. We have a mall right here. That brings us all together,
I'm got on Duolingo, trying to learn a little bit of Somali.
Right, and again, things like that is good. It's good to have, like he said, have that foundation. I think this is someone who's well-spoken, just based off looks, and, he cares for the community. He cares for what he has here, and a lot of the people that even this person, want to contribute to the community.
It's nice to live in a neighborhood where there's another language that is largely spoken. People have told me, why would you feel like you need to learn another language when you're in America? And it's because there's a lot of people who speak a lot of languages in America.
Being Somali out here for me is survival, man, every day. Every day I gotta go, look for where to get my bread from, I gotta go out there because I got family who I gotta support,
Is life easier in Somalia or Minneapolis?
It depends on the person, bro. For me, it's almost the same. So I go back and forth, every year.
Can you tell me about some of the clans or tribes that live here in Minneapolis?
There's Majartan, there's Ugaden, there's Hawargid, Hawargadia, there's Abgal, Hawiya. So they all have their own different type of languages and even what they eat. Every single one of them cannot always identify each other. I'm Rahwain, for example, Rahwain are kind, cool, educated, but very social people. But then there's other people that are distant, that they don't like communicating with other, tribes and shit.
I was on the train.
And then again, that guy, he's very educated in the situation. He knows what the fuck's going on. Very street smart, right?
Yesterday, and I heard someone listening to a podcast about exactly this. It was these people saying Islamism isn't compatible with American values. That's such a distraction from the actual problem, which is that people are hurting, and we used to have social programs that tried to keep people living dignified lives.
My culture, we spread peace and love, tranquility, So we're willing to give is how you treat people around here, Respect, you give respect, you get respect,
You will know what tribe you're from, That's how they taught me who I am, Because if you don't know your tribe, people make fun of you. People that come from Somalia and Africa, they kind of talk down on us because we're born in America. They don't like that.
I see.
That's why Somali people don't succeed in Somalia, because they have that jealousy and hate towards each other.
What are your thoughts on some of the fraud related to the autism, the feeding the children? Have you heard about that?
Of course I heard that, my friend, but to me, those cases is individual persons. So everybody has to pay the price. This is America, America don't charge community or family for a crime that one person commit. Individuals is responsible for this crime, not the whole community. I got nothing to do personally. I've been working all my life.
And that's fair. The individuals that did this are benefit from it, that do it, benefit from it, associate with it, get them the fuck out. They should take everything they own, take all of their money, all their assets, and send them the fuck out.
I flee Somalia when I was like 14, I think.
14, okay.
Yeah, I've been here 25 years, so Somalia and United States is the same to me.
Understood.
And I love both. It's part of my life.
It's home.
Yeah, it's home. We're peaceful people. We came here for peace. We ran away a war, you know. We love everywhere is a peace, especially Minnesota. It's one of the biggest states welcome us.
With members of the Somali community understandably defensive that the blame is being placed on the community as a whole, when you consider the $14 million fraud scheme involving autism treatment centers, where parents were reportedly paid kickbacks to enroll their children in fake treatment centers, one must wonder to what degree this fraud goes beyond a few dozen individuals.
Yeah, I read one where they were charging someone who has never ever benefited from their system, and they were just charging them money just directly from their bank. It's like, I'd never fucking use this in my life. What the fuck is this?
So I met up with Minnesotan journalist Dustin Grage and Senator Michael Holmes to hear their thoughts on this Somali fraud scandal. But real quick, there are some things so insane YouTube won't let us upload.
Oh god, this might get me in trouble.
You can watch it all on patreon.com/Tyler.
Hey, if he can have it, I can have
early
it.
access to these videos for $5 a month. Thank you for your support. Back to Little Somalia.
Dustin, tell me about the Somali fraud in the state of Minnesota right now and what that term means.
Probably the biggest one everyone's familiar with is Feeding Our Future, which is the nation's largest COVID fraud scheme. Originally reported at $250 million. I believe it's now around $300 million right now. And what that case ended up being was a fraud case for hungry kids. So this is during COVID. Everyone's out of school. They set up these feeding centers all across the state. And ultimately, we're getting payments out to these feeding centers, but kids aren't actually being fed. They're just reporting fake numbers, fake names, and then ultimately out goes $300 million.
And where are we in front of?
This is the Hennepin County Government Center. This is where the district court judge allowed a fraudster for $7.2 million in fraud to go completely scot-free. She just didn't like the...
Oh my god. The 1% of people, that orchestrates 90% of your problems right here. I want to just burn this into your retina.
The ruling that the jurors came back with.
There's nothing illegal about what the judge did. They can overturn this. Granted, was it a horrible decision? And should it be appealed? And is it being appealed? Absolutely, but it has to be prevented from happening in the future.
Is our judicial system compromised right now? What's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. Our justices are allowed to just decide these things on a whim. They have no accountability to the people, and the people of Minnesota are getting defrauded and have no recourse.
78 people have been charged at this point. 77 of them are Somali. There's one white woman at the top, defendant one, lady by the name.
I'm face bombing.
Name of Amy Bach, kind of the mastermind behind the scheme, but we very well may exceed over 100 people charged. Just recently, we just saw the 78th one, and that individual was actually charging for more people being fed in a town in northern Minnesota, double the amount of the actual population of the city. So very clearly we have a fraud problem there. But actually Senator Omar Fattah ended up coming out publicly and advocating for the Somali community, saying you're all a bunch of racists, our state government is racist. They end up blocking it, and they win their court case. And actually Omar Fattah praises Feeding Our Future for all the good work they're doing and working with Amy Bach and all their team to actually win this court case and prevent the stop payments from occurring. It continues on, and $300 million down the line later, we continue with the fraud.
Is it Somali fraud because the majority of defendants right now are found to have been from the Somali community?
Yeah, I think that's where the tagline comes from. Honestly, there's a lot of fraud in DHS from top to bottom to begin with. That's getting a lot of press because of the Somali fraud, we're calling it, because honestly, so many Feeding Our Future came out, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what everyone's looking at right now.
Now, granted, are white people also committing fraud through Medicaid? Absolutely. And they should be charged and tried as well. But
yeah, and I've said this too. It's not a race thing. I think this is happening all over the country, right? But let's hyper-focus on the clear case of it. And again, every year, move on to something different. Like, stamp down on this, clear this out, we'll find something new. Or hell, maybe like every half a year, right? Every year is too long. Or every quarter of a year, right? Like, it should be Like, someone should make a career of just stamping out fraud. You know, like Oliveira, who talks about scammers, right? It should be something you do just for the fuck of it. Like, you're in it for the love of the game. And obviously, get paid for it because you're doing a good service.
Particular, I mean, we're talking about, 100,000 Somalis in the state, 5 million people. It's still a very small subsect of the population. At least over 50% of the fraud is coming from one community.
How have you guys sort of discovered the extent of this fraud?
Minnesota House of Representatives has created a fraud committee. So many whistleblowers have come forward to that committee to testify, and we have DHS whistleblowers coming forward. People from the Somali community are coming forward and really exposing what this is. And unfortunately, the state is not doing a great job of these investigations.
So we're actually...
Not only that, they're actively stopping in the investigation. They're letting them go. After a while, it becomes malicious, even if that's not the intent. Like, even if the liberal white woman believes in her heart of hearts she's doing the correct thing, we should treat it like malice regardless. After
to go
a little
in and
bit.
look at some of these past cases with that judge, and in particular one exhibit where wire transfers were occurring overseas. And now it brings us back to Al-Shabaab. Were some of these payments going to hawalas is what they're called? So in Somalia, they don't have banks. They have hawalas.
The average working class guy right now, working his ass off, that money's coming out of his pocket to fund who knows what at this point?
Yeah, and it's in the worst possible way. We have families with autistic children, with disabled children who aren't getting services because other families in the state are deciding to lie and say, oh, I have an autistic child, and they get a kickback. Then money is getting shipped out overseas, and we don't know where that goes, and we're finding out that some of it is unfortunately getting sent to terror networks, and it's a real problem.
How did it take this long to identify this widespread fraud?
Let's go back to 2014. A program called CCAP, basically child care assistance. So Somali daycare centers ended up popping up everywhere, and a lot of the same exact issues. Fake names being submitted, fake billing hours, everything. We noticed that a lot of that money was being wire transferred over to Somalia and the Horn of Africa. Fast forward to 2018, it ended up not being wire transfers anymore because we ended up catching that. It ended up being bags of cash. In this case, $1 million being stuffed into a suitcase and trying to be transported over to the Horn of Africa. And it was tied to CCAP, the child care fraud program. As well, vulnerable adults who can't get around or might have mental health issues and they need assistance in their homes. These individuals are also fraudulently being billed, and we just had another one happen last week where an individual actually was walked in on and they found them dead. This individual had schizophrenia and a bunch of different issues. That individual had been deceased for a while. And they were collecting money on his behalf, billing 12 hours a day. But then the individual, his name was Muhammad, ended up saying that, oh yeah, I saw him last alive the morning before, which was clearly a lie. This individual, according to the report, had been deceased for a while. We have autism centers around the state being fraudulently billed, made up autism cases. They don't actually have a diagnosis, but they're being charged for it.
How deep does this fraud rabbit hole go?
We're told it gets up to potentially $8 billion here in the state. And that's picking the easy to get fruit. There's really no telling how deep it is.
We would encourage the Somali community to come forward and go, we want to work with you. Let's go after them. Let's go after the bad apples.
Yeah, but because of the culture, that's not going to happen. And I do believe there is strict enforcement in the Somalian community not to have that happen. It's kind of how gangs operate, right? You know, the Crips or biker gangs operate. It's the same, like, the fucking Al Capone type shit. Obviously, that's how they do things. It makes sense, right? It's like, obviously.
So you guys can flourish in these communities. And the good news, I can at least report that is happening in many cases. And Republicans were not racist. We have done countless things to be able to bring the Somali community into the Republican Party.
How do you think Trump revoking temporary protected status for Somalia impacts the reduction of fraud happening in Minnesota, if at all?
Unfortunately, right, it's more of a symbolic step. We're recognizing that this is something that needs to come to an end. The Somali community here in Minnesota, they need to take some accountability and police themselves. There isn't a hatred hatred of Somalians or anything like that here. There's just a realization that this has to be tackled and everybody needs to be part of that solution.
Exposing corruption is not racist. Thank you for your work. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Fraud aside, Minneapolis is a cautionary tale and microcosm of what happens when you import mass quantities of people from fundamentally different worlds and assume they'll behave, talk, pray, and live like you do. And once you import enough of these people into the same place, after years of chain migration, they will achieve power through numbers and leverage our democracy to assert political representation and seemingly turn their generous host into second-class citizens within their own home. If everyone can be an American the moment they land on American soil, then what does it even mean to be an American?
What you see is a visual representation of we have your back, and when you come for one of us, you come for all of us.
Yarub Farid, Doka Magalada.
Yeah, I'm just fucking idiot. Alright, let's look at the comments. Pisses me off when an immigrant tells you you can't record in America. Yeah, in public in America. Like, get the fuck out of here. How much post so many French scammers that he picking up the language? Facts. Why is it that YouTubers do better journalism than the mainstream media? Because I think there is an apparatus that exists that tries to portray America and American culture as evil. And the dichotomy of that is other cultures, you know, different than Western cultures that are on the planet are better and good, and the noble savage thing. And it's a little bit more nuanced than that. There's a bit of good and bad, like the Somali community. There are, you know, good clans, good sects, you know, good culture to that, but there's also bad actors, and if you allow them to, it's like you're allowing them to scam you. Obviously they're going to fucking do it. This age, like fine wine. Facts. Barely knowing English after 34 years is wild. The Amish speaks English. They don't want to use a toaster. That's okay. Yeah, that's what I said, right? They stick in their community. They contribute, right? The Amish, they have a lot of fucking money, right? You know, they pay people. Amish is not on welfare. Facts. Dang, bro, it almost went viral for exposing the fraud. Why they don't mention the fact that 80% of them is receiving government assistance? Obviously, it's probably a single digit that receives a lot of it, and it disperses throughout, you know, other sects, other people, give it to their friends, or their friends' friends, and their family, and all that. This documentary covers more in 28 minutes than all the news stations in a week. Facts. Sad when one YouTuber does a 1,000% better job to investigate journalism than all MSM. Yeah, and again, because of what I said, the mainstream media mostly just cares for portraying America as bad and as evil, and Western cultures and Westerners as bad and evil. You know, dang, bro, 3 weeks before all this made headline news. You deserve massive credit for this. The fucking level of entitlement from immigrants is off the chain. Yeah. I mean, again, if they do this, right, and it's allowed, they're defended, they have representation, obviously it's like, yeah, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Very concerned that no traditional media has covered this. Did Fox cover this? I have no fucking clue. 3 years, not a lick of English impossible. I didn't believe it if, you know, you lived in Somalia for 28 years and you just moved for the 2 years. I can understand it's, you know, a thing. 88% of them are on welfare. Yeah, there's also a thing with them being on the welfare system and being just given money. There's too much corruption for this to just have slipped under the rug. Yeah, obviously government officials and mainstream media is not covering this. Like, there is apparatuses in place to ensure that you don't know, and if you do figure this out, there are apparatuses in place to call you an ism or a phobe or this and that, and to come after you. So to an extent, Oliveira and that Nick guy and those other two guys in here, they're doing good work. And you know, there's a lot of people in the Somali community that see these things happening. It's like, yeah, that's dumb. Why? I might not subscribe to this guy. But yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say about this. Interesting situation. Peace.